All right, I got here I think it's a 2011 GMC Denali. It's a hybrid. I know the car doesn't start, but that's about all I know. I think they just bought the car. It has some codes. Didn't really get a history of what's wrong with that. Scan it for codes. Well, I mean, this is right here. This is the interlock, so you can't start without this. But maybe there's a connector cut, so maybe they, I don't know, change the connector and change this. I have no idea. What's this? I don't know that either. All right, let's wait for it to come, but let me just see what we have here. Okay, there's no battery, so I gotta put a booster on this, or better yet, a maintainer. Let me just go find where the 12-volt battery is. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Oh, it's just disconnected. Fine. Yeah, it sparks. So let me see where I don't know where the interlock circuit goes. I'll look. All right, lights up. Yeah, nothing doing. Just gonna scan it. Oh wait, the seats are up in the back. The battery must be under there. Let me just do a scan till we have, then I'll check in the back. It doesn't matter which one you push. Still doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna do a full scan. Let me go check. Alright, so here's the hybrid battery. Let me go around. Oh wait, so they have an interlock in over here. Here's one interlock. Is it in right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, they just got another one. I don't know why. Maybe the fuse in it's blown. 300 volts. Yeah, I don't know where that bracket. Oh, it's this bracket right here that's in the front. Okay, so the high voltage wires goes in here and that goes there. Okay. All right, let's see if the scan showed up anything. All right. Well, it's still going. Ooh, the battery is really low. It's at 10.52 volts. I gotta get a maintainer on this. I'm gonna hook up a generator. Okay. And now the seat moves back. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. In the computer, we have left rear speed sensor circuit low. Okay. Then we have battery energy control module system below voltage. System voltage low. Hybrid battery, we have low voltage also. Everyone's saying the hybrid battery is low. Okay, let's go into, I want to see the actual battery. We'll go into the battery module. All right, let's see. We have data stream, data display, voltage data. All right, so these are all the cells. They're all over the place. Some are at 11, 10, 12, 9. I think there's a 300 volt battery. And so I'm assuming this probably uses the hybrid battery to crank the car. I'll have to look at the diagram to be sure. Okay, I'm gonna clear all the codes, see what comes back. We'll start fresh. Alright, the only codes that didn't temporarily clear were in the EBCM and in the electronic suspension. But I mean, I don't know if these other ones really clear. Let me try to crank it. Okay, try again. Nothing. Okay, now let's do another scan, see what comes back. Alright, so we still have the codes in the EBCM and the ESC. We also have a passenger presence module code in the airbags module, and in the ECM, left rear speed sensor circuit low. And we have a bunch of codes in the ABS, so I mean, I don't. Device 1 voltage low, control module shutdown performance. I don't know if you have a blown fuse to this, but I don't think that would affect it not starting. Yeah, let me get a computer, look up a diagram how this thing starts. Alright, so I pulled up a diagram of the starting system. I just want to see if it's how it's starting. So it looks like to me there's a regular starter motor, and it's not using the hybrid battery at all. Now you see it says G101 except hybrid has a different ground, but it's not saying that the starter is different on a hybrid. So it really looks like a simple circuit. I mean, it has a starter motor, then it gets fed power straight from the battery, and then there's a 175 amp fuse, which is feeding this starter relay, the load side, and then when you crank it, it gives power and ground to the coil on the relay. It closes and it goes on 87, which goes through a starter fuse, a 40 amp fuse. It feeds the starter motor, and it should start up, and it's grounded. So what actually makes it controlled is it's constantly grounded on pin 85, and 86 the engine control module starts it. So it could be, if it's immobilized, it wouldn't start. Okay, great, but I want to see if I can just bypass it and let it see if it starts, or at least cranks. So let me go under the hood and look. It doesn't look complicated. Now it could be it's wrong and this diagram's wrong. It is an aftermarket diagram. Well, let's just check this out. Alright, so we got some powers coming off over here. I don't know what those are, but I think this is the starter relay if I remember. 1, 2, 3, yeah it is. Sorry, this is the compressor. This is the starter relay right here. Alright, so let me get a test light, and we'll just test what we have over here. Alright, so I got a test light here. We're going to put it to battery negative. Alright, if I hit a power, it lights up. So now, here's the relay. So it's either, doesn't matter which way it is, but this is going to be the load side, either 85 or 86, and this is going to be the control side, 30 and 87. One of these I should have constant ground, and one I should have constant power. Okay, so no, I don't have power on here, and I got power on here. So now this means this is from the fuse. Let's just get a diagram to be clear. This is from the fuse pin 30, right? So that's coming straight from this fuse right here, this 175 amp fuse, feeding pin 30. Now 87 is going to be going through this 40 amp fuse to the starter motor, and it should ground through the starter coil to the motor. So I should be able to see a ground on this pin right here. So I got to switch my test light to battery positive. Just make sure it works. If I hit a ground, it lights up. So I should see a ground right here, and I don't. Just make sure I'm on the right one. Yeah, there's no ground here, and this pin should be grounded right through the starter. Alright, I'm just pulling this fuse box out because I couldn't find the starter easily. Can't fit underneath. Alright, I got the fuse box out. All the connectors, none of them look damaged. Maybe my finger got a little damaged, but the connectors are not. Alright, so now let's look on the other side of this. Now I gotta figure out which one is the starter pin from the fuse, and then I'll just ohm it through the box and just make sure the fuse box is good. And then we can test it to the starter, see if we have ground over here. Okay. X2 does it give me a color? It's a black one, so it's one of these three. Now if it's one of these two because it's bigger. It's this one because this has two big ones and this one doesn't. Okay, so it's this connector. It's X2. Now which one were we on? F5. So it goes like, it's in order. So here's that big pin. So it's A, B, C. Okay, so F is one. It's either this big or this one because I don't know which way the connector is facing. There's only F1 here. Here, F1 says starter solenoid crank voltage except, I guess, it's hybrid. We're on F5. There's no F5. Oh yeah, there's only an F1. So we're in the wrong car. This doesn't apply to us. Oh boy, there's probably no starter in this car. I just wasted an hour. Because this diagram was wrong. Alright, I'm back to thinking it's just a bad hybrid battery. It's the only codes coming up. Doesn't seem like there's a starter in here. Alright, I'm gonna read the description of operation on the starter motor and see what we got. Well, this makes me look really stupid, but I typed in starting system, description of operation. The hybrid system does not use the conventional starter. Refer to the hybrid modes of operation description for information about the starting system. Well, the diagram was wrong. At least I should have looked at this first and I didn't, and I went down a rabbit hole of checking for the starter, which doesn't even exist on this car. It's just here because they probably just cross over to other vehicles. Yeah, I think this is not starting because the hybrid battery is just too low. It can't crank it. But I'm gonna read up on hybrid mode of operation description just to be sure. All right, well, I went and spoke to the customer and I got some information. They bought the car used and they were told the only thing it needs is a battery. So the customer went and put in a junkyard battery and then the car still wouldn't start. Now, I don't know, they said they had some codes and it was a TSB, but I didn't see any of that. I just saw low voltage codes and I see that the voltages inside are actually low. Now, to me, it looks like they just got a bad junkyard battery. I was reading, it said engine start, and the vehicle does not use a 12-volt starter motor to crank the internal combustion engine. A much more powerful 300-volt motor generator located within the transmission is utilized to crank the engine. The 300-volt drive motor generator can rotate the engine to operating speed within just a few hundred milliseconds. To me, that really looks like the whole problem. It's just not getting enough power. I'm going to check the data in the battery voltage just to make sure. Let's just see. Okay, reconnect module. Let's go on the battery one. Battery energy control module. Read data stream. Just select everything. All right, 300 volt condition, test conditions met, yes. Isolation test passed. Okay, the contactor should be on. Contactor system signal request is open, open. Control module voltage signal, fine. Source current, hybrid battery 1. That's at 9.6 volts, and this is at 12.2 volts. It's like a 3 volt difference. This one's at 9, 12, 10. So what's the total battery voltage? All right, this is the voltage low. It's less than 168 volts for 4 seconds. or individual hybrid battery voltage measurement is less than 8.4 volts for 4 seconds. So that's why that code's not on right now, because it's a little over 8. They're at 9. But when they drop down, it will jump down, I'm assuming. Here, hybrid battery state of charge is 59%. And the whole voltage is 214 volts. Now, is that enough to start the car? I don't know. Let's do another scan, see if this low battery code came back. Well, we got 3 codes in the ECM now. Well, I did unplug the fuse box, so that could be. And my generator turned off. Did I run out of gas? Well, I ran out of gas, but luckily I'm in a gas station, so that wasn't such a problem. Okay. Alright, did a full scan. Let's see what all these codes are. We got some lost COM codes. That's because I probably disconnected it. But I do have this battery energy control module hybrid battery system low voltage. Yeah, the only codes coming back are low voltage codes or things that when I disconnected it. And I honestly think it's just the voltage is too low. Okay, after the drive motor battery generator battery control module assembly has been replaced and reassembled the drive motor generator battery. Enable the high voltage system. Refer to high voltage enabling. No, so it says you have to start the engine. And we can't do that. I'm sorry, I lost the rest of the footage, but I pretty much told them they need a new battery. And the customer sent me this later that night saying that there's something called a jump assist procedure that he's going to try to do. It says you could jump it with the regular voltage with the scan tool. I didn't see this when I was there, but as I was scrolling through it, it clearly said, it says right here, turn the ignition key to the run position, observe and record the BECM hybrid battery pack calculated voltage scan tool parameter. You should observe greater than 240 volts. If the voltage is less than 240 volts, jump assist will not initiate and the drive motor generator battery must be replaced. And we had 214 volts. So this is not going to work and the battery's dead. Alright, thanks for watching.
Boom, and it's working.